love me a good rainy day and a good book. If you want to read a book that will make you giggle and kick your feet, I think that's the one. Welcome back to another reading vlog, my friends, but this is not just any other reading vlog. This is going to be an autumnal reading vlog because I am going to be reading books that are in my autumn TBR. I am very much aware that autumn hasn't started yet, but that cannot stop me. That cannot stop me from getting excited about this new season. Fall is such a wonderful, beautiful, and cozy season that I want to start enjoying it and romanticizing it from now. Also, because I am creating these videos online, I think that it's nice for you to also see what type of books I'm going to be reading, what type of books are in my autumn TBR, so that gives you more time to find them, to buy them, to order them, and why not get excited about this new season a bit earlier? I don't see any harm in that. So I don't know for how many days I will be filming this vlog. I will try to read as much as I can so I can show you a few different books and give you my thoughts on them, but I think that we're starting very strong and with a very fall-esque autumnal book, which is none other than The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. I am so ready to start this. I have a feeling that this is going to be super cozy and it's just going to put me into the fall mood in the best way possible. I mean, it has to do with a cafe, it has to do with small town. We also have a romance in the book, so that's going to be pretty good if you ask me. So if you have no clue what this book is all about, this book will follow our main character Jeannie, who has recently moved to this small town called Dream Harbor, and there she will start running the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which used to be her aunt's. The cafe was her aunt's, but now she retired and she gave Jeannie this cafe. And I guess she will try to run it as efficiently as she can, and she will try to meet new people, just to start building a new life in a new place. Also, this book is part of a series. This is the first book in the Dream Harbor series. I am pretty sure that on the 29th of August, the second book in this series will be available. So I'm not sure if that book is going to follow one of the characters that we will meet in this book, but if I like this one, you best believe I will be getting all the other books. I am very excited to start this, but before we do, of course, we're gonna make a fun, warm little beverage. I have the AC blasting, so I'm good. I can make myself a warm little beverage, and I'm thinking about making a tea. What else is new? Of course, make sure that you also grab a fun little beverage, whether that is a tea, a coffee, or whatever you would like to drink, and let's sit down and get into a cozy mood, sip our teas, sip our beverages, and read. It doesn't get better than that.
Then one day she said, write me a love song, 'cause I know you'll make it beautiful. And maybe I'll call you my sweetheart and promise nobody can steal me away. Then I am yours, 'cause I want you and I wanted you to know. He looked at her and then he smiled, picked up a pen and paper.
This tea is not only delicious, but it also has such a pretty color. It has this beautiful red shade. I just love it. Okay, I am ready to start. I am very excited. Oh my god, guys, I cannot believe it. Do you want to know what the book says here? From the moment I saw this book, I was getting Gilmore Girl vibes. And listen to this. Lori Gilmore writes small town romance. Her Dream Harbor series is filled with quirky townsfolk, cozy settings, and swoon-worthy romance. She loves finding books with a perfect balance of sweetness and spice, and strives for that in her own writing. If you ever wished you lived in Stars Hollow, or that Luke and Lorelai would just get together already, then her books are definitely for you. Oh my god, I had no freaking clue. That is so exciting. I love Gilmore Girls. I love Luke and Lorelai, and this is just so exciting. How did I just find this out? This is crazy. Okay, let's start.
Lost in the city lights, our love's electric, right? You make me feel alive. I know July is gone. You make me feel at home in the neon glow. As the leaves change color, I dive into you when summer's fading.
Okay, I'm about to start chapter 5 and I want to give you my thoughts so far. By the way, I'm using some pictures of me and my partner as my bookmark, and I think that this was the perfect bookmark choice for this book because now I can low-key imagine that he is Logan and I am Ginny, and why not daydream and imagine that I am Ginny and he is Logan and we're having our small town romance. I think that book people do that all the time to imagine that they are part of a story. But anyways, let me give you a few of my thoughts about this book so far. First of all, of course, it does remind me of Gilmore Girls, small town. They also have town meetings, town gatherings where they gather all together and they talk about the town's issues, exactly like in Gilmore Girls. Also, we have been already introduced to a few characters, and you know, one of the characters is the pub owner, the other one is the bakery owner. It's very wholesome. I like this energy, the small town energy. I like it. But when a book introduces me to multiple different characters all at once within a couple of pages or 3 pages or something like that, I tend to get lost and forget the characters and mix up who is who and forget some of them. And I think that that is what is happening now. I'm guessing they will be mentioned again in the next chapters, so I will get to know them better. So now I have no clue what each character looks like, except for Jeannie and Logan, who are the main characters. All the rest of the people, I'm not really sure about what they look like. Maybe that's a me problem. Also, what I love about this book so far is that it is dual point of view, and we get to read about both main characters' thoughts and feelings, which is amazing. And I don't know if I've been reading a lot of fantasy enemies to lovers books, but I feel like our characters are very quickly realizing their feelings, let's say, or that they are just attracted to each other. When, you know, I am used to books with the 2 main characters hating each other and being enemies and not being sure about their feelings and, you know, trying to kill each other. So far, I feel like if you want to read a book that will make you giggle and kick your feet and just blush and smile, I think that that's the one. But I'm really loving it so far. It is a bit later now and I have stopped at chapter 17. I haven't started chapter 17 yet, so I am this far along in the book. I am really enjoying it. You know, nothing mind-blowing is happening, but at the same time, it is just so much fun and easy to read. I have a feeling that I might want to read more books by this author, but so far I am really enjoying it. For something romantic and light and easy to read, I think that I'm really enjoying this author's writing. So now I have a couple of errands to run, so I will stop reading and then I will also visit my family. So I don't know if I will give you another update today or if we will talk again tomorrow. But in any case, I will take my book with me. Maybe I will squeeze in some reading while I'm at my family's house. But so far, so good. Good morning, my friends. It is currently the next day and I have made quite the progress with the book. I have only this little left, so I will finish it very shortly, but I wanted to give you an update. I actually just started chapter 27, and you know how in books when things go right, suddenly they need to go wrong? Because we need that edge, we need to rattle the waters. So that is what is about to happen here, I'm pretty sure. Our 2 main characters, Logan and Ginny, have been, both of them, through a lot. They have been through some traumatic things that have shaped them as people, and now they're trying to, you know, navigate how they need to act and how they need to feel and what they should do with each other. I don't blame them. Both of them have been through their fair share of things, but I knew it, that the story was going too smoothly and that something had to go wrong just before the book would end. But I'm pretty sure that this is going to have a happy ending. I mean, this is a fun romance. Also, when I saw this book at the bookstore, I thought that it was an innocent romance, but it does have a little bit of spice in it. I just want to let you know because maybe some people people don't like spicy books. And also, you know how we have the pumpkin spice cafe, right? There are some mysterious things happening in the cafe. Someone is trying to maybe sabotage our girl Ginny, and I have a feeling that I know who that person is, and I think that I know why also that person is trying to mess up with her. I don't know if I will be right. I will have to finish the book and see, but so far I am really enjoying the book. It's so much fun. It's just everything that I wanted this book to be. A cozy, light, full read to get me into the full mood. Am I too dark and you cannot see me? This lighting is all over the place, excuse that. But apparently the weather forecast is saying that we might have some rain today and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So I think that I chose the perfect time to film this autumnal reading vlog, because if it's gonna rain, the vibes are going to be immaculate. I love me a good rainy day and a good book. I will go ahead and finish the book, finish my tea, and I will give you my final thoughts on the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Okay, my friends, I just finished the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and I really liked it. I really enjoyed this book. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna rate it at the moment. I need to think about it. There were definitely like a couple of scenes, like 3-4 scenes that I thought were a little bit goofy and funny, you know, the type of scenes that rom-coms normally have, that you feel like they are a bit unrealistic, but because it is a rom-com, it just makes sense. We had a few of these scenes in here, I feel like, but I didn't mind them because this is a fun, sweet little romance, so of course we will have that type of scenes in here. I will think about my rating, but overall I did enjoy this book. It had everything I was looking for. It got me into the full mood. It had so many cozy, warm descriptions of drinks and donuts and scones and the leaves and the weather. It just felt really cozy and wholesome. I did have Stars Hollow in my mind while I was reading this book. I was thinking about Stars Hollow, and even for the Pumpkin Spice Cafe I was trying not to picture Luke's diner in my mind because it does have a different description, but I low-key was imagining Luke's diner in my mind. And I love how our main characters were able to communicate. Of course we had some little points of miscommunication here and there, but nothing intense, nothing too much. They mainly did communicate their thoughts and their feelings, and I loved that because I hate miscommunication in books, in movies, in real life, in everything. It makes me mad. If you're thinking about something, just say it. We cannot smell our nails, like we say here in Greece. Just communicate your feelings and your thoughts. I love that. When characters do that, it's 10 out of 10. So we can put this book aside now, since we're done with it, and we can choose another book. These 4 books right here are in my September TBR, so I can choose one of these. We will be reading The Cruel Prince with my book club, which I recently made. If you don't know, I have created a book club. I will have a link in my description box in case you want to join. That would be amazing. But since I'm going to read this book with my book club and September hasn't quite arrived yet, I think I should pick up one of the other books. So I have Ruthless Vows, 6 of Crows, The 7-Year Slip, and Yours Truly. But if I'm being honest, I'm leaning a bit more towards Ruthless Vows, just because it is the second book in a duology and I want to read it and complete the duology, and I just cannot wait to see what is going to happen with the 2 main characters. And since the day is dark and gloomy today, I feel like this is the perfect read. So maybe I should make another cup of tea, put on a playlist, a Divine Rivals playlist to get into the mood, and start Ruthless Vows. is already the evening and I may or may not have made a third cup of tea for today. But each time I'm making something different. This morning it was a green tea, then later I had a lemon verbena tea, and now I'm having this tea which is with fruits and flowers. And you know what? I am blaming this book for my tea obsession today. The same thing happened when I was reading Divine Rivals. I wanted to drink tea all the time when I was reading Divine Rivals because they mention tea very frequently in the book. The characters are having cups of tea, and since I love tea and I read that the characters are drinking a cup of tea, I want one for myself too. But I just took a shower, and continuing with the tea theme, I'm about to do a face mask, and look what face mask I chose. A green tea face mask. Because they drink tea, I drink tea, so I might as well do a green tea face mask. Right? So it is a chill, self-care type of evening. I am currently at page 32, so I'm about to start chapter 4, so I haven't read quite a lot of this book today. So far, I am enjoying it, and I think that I see where the story is heading at. And since this is the second book also in this duology, I cannot say a lot of things. But one thing that I will say, and I don't think that it is a spoiler, is that at the moment, our two characters are not together, they are separated. They're just not at the same spot currently. And I think that I know what is happening, what is going on. But again, it's still too early to tell. So let's do a face mask, drink the tea, and continue reading this book. Also, I will try to put this face mask on without a mirror. Let's not move. Let's just try to apply it without a mirror. I have the viewfinder. I will use it as a mirror. Okay, this smells like lemon, I think, not like green tea. It smells like lemon and cucumber. Oh my god, this thing is dripping all over my couch. So let's try to put it on without creating a huge mess. I always apply these face masks so weirdly on my face, and I look like a serial killer. And I really don't know how the girls over at Pinterest look aesthetic and pretty with face masks on. Bold of me to assume that I will be able to look at the viewfinder when I don't wear glasses. I cannot see a thing. Oh my god, I put it in my eye. This is the best that I could do. And I need to wipe my eye now because I will go blind. Good morning, friends. It is a new day and it is actually Saturday, so I made myself a big for me cup of coffee. I normally don't drink coffee. If you watch my videos, you know that. But every once in a while, I like me a cup of coffee because I love the taste. But isn't this the most autumnal mug you have ever seen? Look at that. It is a little house, like a mushroom house, and it has flowers and mushrooms and a window. Here it has on the front door and windows, and on the inside it says cup of happy. So let's do a taste test. It is still very warm, and also this mug is so big and thick, it is low-key a struggle to drink from it. Okay, that's good, that's good. But let's talk about Ruthless Vows, shall we? So I am almost halfway through the book, as you can tell. So far it's going okay, I like it. But I feel like it is more intense than the first book. I feel like the first book was cozier and more romantic. This is also romantic, don't get me wrong, and it has still some nice, beautiful, cozy scenes. But because there is a war happening, I feel like it is more intense. We focus more on the war. I've heard too many people say that this book is not their favorite and that they preferred the first one. And I feel like it is slowly affecting my view on the book, and I don't like that. I hate when that happens. But so far I am enjoying it. I feel like it is not as good as the first one so far again. And I also want to mention how much I love our two main characters and the way that they talk and the way that they type and they write letters. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to give out obviously any spoilers, but I just love these two kids. They're so cute. So the plan for now is to continue reading Ruthless Vows. I will try to make some progress with it because ideally I would love to also start a third book for this vlog. I will drink my coffee, read my book. It is another gloomy day. It will probably rain a little bit later, which we love. It is not super cool though, the weather is still warm, but it is cooler in comparison to other days, so it puts me in the full mood. Am I the only one who always needs a pillow on her couch? My couch's pillows are not that comfortable. I always bring a pillow from the bedroom. But good morning, my friends. It is a new day and I have a couple of book updates. I made myself a warm cup of green tea. Let's put this aside because it's still very hot. And book update number 1 is that I finished Ruthless Vows. Now this was a good book. I loved the writing again. It felt very romantic. It felt like a historical novel. I feel like the fantasy elements this time around were heavier in this book. I think that especially in the first book, in Divine Rivals, the fantasy elements were not that intense, let's say. But in this book, they are more obvious. But I was not thrilled with this book. And now I get why a lot of people say that this book was not their favorite and that they preferred Divine Rivals. First of all, I want to say that I love Iris and Roman, our two main characters. I love them so much. But when it comes to the war and the two gods that they were, fighting each other, I feel like that story of these two gods felt low-key incomplete. And a lot of parts in the book felt a bit rushed. But by having read Divine Rivals, I was expecting more from this book. Also, there is one thing that one of our main characters did that felt so out of character for that person. I was like, is this really gonna happen? And yes, it did end up happening, but it low-key didn't make sense to me. All in all, it is a good book, but it's definitely not as good as Divine Rivals. I think I'm gonna give this book 3.75 stars because I love our two main characters and the whole energy of the book, the whole setting, the writing, but it did feel rushed. Some things were completely out of character and out of the blue, and I just expected more. So that is my review for Ruthless Vows, and I have finally started a third book, and that third book is my book club book, the one that I'm reading with my book club friends, and it is none other than The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I mean, I haven't read a ton. As you can see, I have only read this little. I am at chapter 4. So far I cannot say pretty much anything about this book. What I can say is that it feels like a fairy tale. All the characters that have been described so far feel so unique and different because I have read other fantasy books and I feel like the main characters and the characters low-key look like humans, like people. But in this book, I feel like all of the characters look very unique, very different, very fairy tale-like. And the only characters who look like humans and simple people are the two characters who are simple human people. So our main character Jude and her twin sister. So far it is good. I mean, it's too early to tell, but I will sit down and continue reading this because I have been wanting to read The Cruel Prince for so long. And now I feel like I want to devour it and read it very quickly. And not only the first book, but the other two books as well, just to find out what the hype is all about, because I know that a lot of people are head over heels about this series. So we'll drink my tea and continue reading, and I will give you an update as soon as I have one. Alright, my friends, good morning, and it is actually a few days later. I just took a shower, so don't mind the wet hair, but I have finally finished reading The Cruel Prince. Cruel Prince fans, this is your moment to exit the video. I am not gonna talk bad about the book. I never want to talk bad about books because this is the work of a person. They have shed blood and tears for that thing to be created. They have put work into it, and I don't think that I am someone that should talk bad about a book. But with that being said, I can obviously express my opinion respectfully, and that is what I'm about to do. I'm just going to express my opinion respectfully. But I know that if you love a book, you don't want to hear anybody talk not that great about it, so that is your sign to maybe leave this video. I don't know, maybe you want to hear what I have to say about this book. First of all, I think that I'm gonna give this book 3 stars, which is not about rating, not about rating at all. But while I was reading this book, I could not help but think that this reads too young, if I'm explaining it correctly. It feels like a book for a younger audience. I feel like if I was, again, a teenager and I was reading this book back then, I would eat this up, I would love it. But now, it just didn't hit the spot. It didn't. Unfortunately, so far, I do not feel connected to Jude, our main female character, at all. Also, I feel like a lot of the conflicts, especially at the beginning of the book, were very childish and very high school drama-like. But then the book did take a darker turn, but still, even then, it was not believable for me. Maybe because Jude is young, maybe because I haven't seen much of her training, but her planning and scheming and trying to take turns and to maneuver things politically and for the kingdom just didn't make sense to me. Maybe in the next 2 books, I will, of course, change my mind. That is a huge possibility, and maybe I will love her then, and everything will get more intense. Because a lot of the times, I feel like in series, we don't fall in love with the first book, but then with the rest, we do, and we get crazy over them. And I know that this book has a huge fan base, and maybe I will become a fan after the second and the third book. So I didn't connect to Jude, and I definitely didn't connect to Cardan. I don't see it. I don't like them together so far. Cardan is giving me weird vibes and weird energy. Not that he's awful, because he has been through some things. Cardan, by the way, is the MMC. I didn't mention that. But so far, I'm not seeing it, you know, the two of them. Obviously, they're not together. This is not a romance-heavy book at all. Maybe in the next books, they will end up together, I think. And the romance is completely besides the point. I just don't click with Cardan as a character because I normally want the MMC to be more powerful, stronger, being able to fight. And so far, Cardan feels low-key weak. Maybe that will change again in the next 2 books. Maybe he will step up and become stronger and more badass, let's say. This book is also very imaginative, and a lot of the times I couldn't picture the characters. I was reading how the characters were portrayed, their descriptions, but for some of them I couldn't imagine them. And also the plot felt like it was moving very slowly. The story was moving very slowly, and every single one of the plot twists that we had were not mind-blowing. I was like, oh, okay, moving on. I'm terribly sorry if you love this book. I don't want to roast the book at all. It was not bad, but it was not good for me personally. So far, I don't see the hype, but again, maybe in the next 2 books, I will see the hype and I will fall in love with the story. Who knows? But that would be all for my review for The Cruel Prince. If you enjoyed this reading vlog and you would like to see more of these, let me know down in the comments. I'm really into the mood for fall reading, for reading fantasy. So if you would like to watch more videos like this one, let me know down in the comments. So thank you all so much for watching my video, my friends. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, friends!
Then one day she said, write me a love song, 'cause I know you'll make it beautiful. And maybe I'll call you my sweetheart, and promise nobody can steal me away. Then I am yours, 'cause I want you and I wanted you to know.